Someone tells you they're fine, they're smiling, their voice is easy, and something in you doesn't buy it. You have no proof. You couldn't explain it. But a week later, it comes out that they were falling apart the whole time. And part of you already knew. People have a word for that. Paranoid. Overthinking. They tell you to stop analyzing, that you're making it up. And after hearing it enough, you started to wonder if they were right. They weren't. And there's a study that proves it. People watched 3 10-second clips of a teacher they'd never met, with the sound off. 30 seconds of silent video, nothing else. From that, they rated how good the teacher was. Their ratings matched the reviews from students who'd sat in that teacher's class for a whole semester. Then they made it shorter. 6 seconds. Still right. 6 seconds of silence. And you can read a stranger. Almost everyone can. A little. You just do it more and sharper. Because you spend more time watching than talking. Start with what you're actually reading, because it was never the words. Anyone can hear the words. You're reading everything underneath them. The smile that shows up a second too late. The "I'm happy for you." The joke someone laughs at a beat too slow. Poker players have a name for it. A tell. The small thing a person gives away without meaning to. Most people only notice a tell when it's obvious. You notice the quiet ones. Someone can say all the right things, and you still walk away knowing something underneath didn't add up. Here's why you catch it when they don't. In any room, your attention is doing one of two things: performing or watching. Most people are performing, planning what they'll say next, checking how they look, waiting for their turn. That uses up almost everything. You're not doing that. You went quiet, so all of your attention points outward. In a room full of people watching themselves, you're the only one watching everyone else. You're not reading too much into people, you're just the only one still reading. And a fake smile is the easy version. The same thing that catches a late smile also catches what people try much harder to hide. And that's where it stops being a party trick. Think about the last time someone was a little too nice to you. The compliment out of nowhere. The warmth from someone who usually doesn't give you much. Most people just enjoy it. You get a small, quiet flag instead. Wait, what does this person want? You're not being cynical. You're doing math. Nice, on its own, is just nice. But nice that shows up right before a favor. Nice that doesn't match how this person normally treats you. Nice with the timing slightly off. That's a different thing. You're not reacting to the kindness. You're reacting to the gap between the kindness and everything you already know about them. It's the coworker who never says a word to you, suddenly asking how your weekend was, 2 seconds before asking you to cover their shift. Everyone else hears a friendly question. You hear the shift coming before they finish the sentence. And you can only catch that because you were watching the whole time. You know how this person normally acts, so the second they act different, it stands out. Most people don't have that baseline. They weren't paying attention when nothing was happening. You were. You've been quietly collecting how everyone behaves when they think it doesn't matter. So when it suddenly matters, you already have the before picture. You're not suspicious of people. You just remember who they are when they think no one's keeping score. But catching what someone wants from you is still the surface. Because the hardest thing to read in a person isn't the part they're hiding from you, it's the part they're hiding from themselves. And you see that too. Someone tells you they're totally over their ex. They mean it. They believe it. But you watch how they go quiet when that name comes up, how fast they change the subject, and you know they're not. Before they do. That's the deepest version of this. Not catching a lie someone's telling you. Catching the one they're telling themselves. People are usually the last to know what they feel. They bury it, they explain it away, they call the anger just tired and the hurt no big deal. But it leaks. It shows up in the pause, the flat voice, the joke that comes out a little too sharp. You end up reading the person underneath the story they're telling, sometimes more clearly than they can read it themselves. And this is where quiet stops being a personality trait and turns into something closer to a skill. You've spent so much of your life on the outside of the conversation, just watching, that the gap between what someone says and what's actually running underneath it is obvious to you. Most people can't see that in others. A lot of people can't even see it in themselves. You do both without trying before you've decided to. That's not overthinking. It's one of the rarest things one person can do for another. See them clearly, even when they can't see themselves. But no one tells you what it costs to see all of it, all the time. And that's the part we have to be honest about. It starts so slowly, you don't even feel it. When you're the one who always notices how people are really doing, you quietly become the one they lean on. The friend who gets the late night text. The person people tell things they've never said out loud. You end up carrying a piece of everyone. And somewhere in there, without anyone meaning for it to happen, you know everyone in the room. And almost no one in the room knows you. There's research on this now. In a 2025 study of over 3,000 people, the ones who picked up the most sensitive to everything around them, reported feeling the most emotionally alone. Not because they had fewer people in their lives. Their social lives looked completely normal. It was a quieter kind of loneliness, understanding others far more than you're ever understood back. There's a loneliness that has nothing to do with being alone. It's being the only one in the room who sees what's really going on. That's the quiet trade. You read people so well that you become the one person nobody thinks to read. So the next time someone tells you you're reading too much into it, that you overthink, that you make it up, you can let it go. You weren't imagining anything. You were just the only one still paying attention. Most people spend their whole lives half looking at each other. You never learned how to do that. You see people all the way down, and that was never the flaw they made it out to be. You see people all the way down. Most of them will never know you did. If this video finally saw you the way you've spent your life seeing everyone else, subscribe.